All right, today we're going to head up to the control tower of the digital world. We're going to talk about a really critical piece of tech that honestly makes modern remote work even possible, the Omnisa Horizon Connection Server. The best way to think about it, it's the air traffic controller for your entire fleet of virtual desktops. So just think about this challenge for a second. You've got thousands of employees, right? And each one is like a plane trying to land on its own specific runway, which is their personal desktop or app. So how do you guide every single one of them to the right place, check who they are, and do it all securely without any collisions? Well, that is the exact problem the Horizon Connection Server was built to solve. So how do we tackle that huge problem? The answer is all in this one piece of software. It's the digital controller. You could say it's the brains behind the whole operation. It's what brings a sense of calm and order to all that potential chaos. So let's take a closer look at what it really is and how it gets the job done. Okay, so what is this thing exactly? Well, at its core, the connection server is a software component that acts as the central broker, kind of like a middleman or a matchmaker, for every single connection in a virtual desktop setup. Its main job is to manage the flow of all that traffic. And that's really why this whole air traffic controller analogy just works so well. It sits up in the tower and it orchestrates everything from one central spot. Now, any good controller has a few absolutely critical jobs to keep things running smoothly. So let's break down the three core jobs of the Horizon Connection Server. This is everything that happens from the moment a user tries to log in to the second they actually see their desktop pop up. Okay, let's walk through this. First up, you've got brokerage. This is just like the controller, assigning a unique runway to an incoming plane. The server sees a user's request and directs them to the exact virtual desktop or application they're supposed to have. Next up, authentication. I mean, you can't let just any plane land, right? You have to check the pilot's credentials. The connection server does the same thing, verifying a user's identity through Active Directory. And finally, there's management. This is the control tower view itself, a web portal called the Horizon Console, where administrators can see and manage the whole environment, just like a real controller watching over the entire airport. But here's the thing. A great air traffic controller can't do it all alone. They need a whole airport ecosystem to back them up. From the security at the gates all the way to the ground crew on the tarmac. Well, the connection server is no different. It's a powerful piece, but it's part of a much bigger system. Let's see how all those pieces fit together. So first, you have the control tower itself. The connection server software gets installed on a dedicated Windows Server virtual machine. This is what makes it the central brain of the operation. This is the command center where all the important decisions are made. But what happens if the main controller has a problem? You can't just shut down the whole airport. No way. That's why you'll often see multiple connection servers grouped together in what are called pods. This creates what's known as high availability, and it basically ensures that if one server goes down, another one is ready to take over instantly. It's the ultimate backup plan. Now, what about all of us trying to connect from the outside world, from the internet? How do we get in securely? Well, that's the job of the Unified Access Gateway, or UAG. The easiest way to think about it is like the airport's main security checkpoint. It creates a secure, encrypted tunnel for all the incoming traffic, making sure only authorized people ever make it inside. And that brings us to the final piece of this puzzle, the ground crew. See, once a plane is on the ground, the control tower needs updates. That's the Horizon Agent. It's this small piece of software that gets installed on every single virtual desktop, and it's constantly reporting its status. Things like, I'm available, I'm in use, or I need maintenance, right back to the connection server. So when you put all of these pieces together, you start to see that the connection server isn't just another component. It's really the indispensable brain that makes the whole system smart, secure, and manageable. So if you're going to take away just a few things, let it be these. It's the central broker, that single point of contact. It's the security enforcer, authenticating everyone. It's the management hub, the command center for admins. And it's also the session manager, keeping track of who's doing what. It does so much more than just connect users. It builds a secure and reliable digital workspace, so thousands of remote employees can have a great experience every single day. And all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question for the future. We started this whole journey with virtual desktops, but as our digital workspaces keep growing, with more apps, more devices, more complex data, you have to wonder, what new kinds of traffic will these digital air traffic controllers need to learn how to manage next? It's a huge challenge, and the answer is really going to define the future of how we work.